Hey everyone, it's September 13th and we're taking a look at the big picture version of the euro against the dollar. This is the trading so far for this week. So you can see on this trend line here that there's 36 bars, that's 36 weeks of trading. And the very base or trough of this wave right here is 103.398. So you have this gigantic move to what looks like an interim peak at 120.918. And remember when the market was crashing here back in 2014, 2015, you have a lot of sellers coming into the market here. So it turns out that price stopped here. It stopped in right above this gap. So gaps have a tendency of filling, gaps love to fill. It turned out that this gap filled and it went above it, and now it's on its way down. So a move like this is just tremendous if you can get behind it. So a lot of the currency players that are trend followers tended to be on a bullish bias going into the summer, especially after the election here. So you have this gap, an imbalance, professional gap, where they were able to not only bring price higher, but drive it all the way up into this territory. We took a look at the weeklies, so let's take a look at the weeklies again from a different perspective in terms of the technical points where it started to turn, and then let's go into the daily and some of the time frames that are more free. Alright, so this is 125.83. It comes in line with this lower high and then another lower high right here. And the high was put in place, or the low I should say, was put in place on the summer of 2010. This also occurred later in the summer. So you have June 5th, 2010, a major blast off there. It went all the way up into 149, the exchange rate. And then it went off from this point again to another interim peak at 139.938. This is a zone where it totally departed out and went down. That's a move of 1,865 pips, but you can see how well it acts here. So former support becomes resistance again. So here we have it. There's some bearish activity going on right here. Some energy on the way down. So it was not able to hold that line, and now it's retreating fast. It's dropping like a rock. So you have the daily based on what I was writing about the trend line. It was not able to respect this trend line anymore. You have two bearish topping candles. The first one didn't work out too well because it has this bottoming tail right here. It wasn't a total decision to the downside. This one has the appearance of a textbook shooting star. So you have a very thin and narrow real body and a very long topping tail. You have a long topping tail here, which is tremendously bearish, except for this bottoming part right here. So it doesn't make for an orthodox shooting star, and that's the reason why it probably went to the highs at 121, or at least gave some probability of it being bullish for at least another week, right? So the trend line's broken. You have an unfilled gap down here, so there's a lot of downside still left for the euro dollar, and it's at highs. So it's high in the curve, and it's also trending down for the moment. So we can zoom in again and take a look at how these moves define themselves on a different time frame. This is the 4-hour chart. I would have liked to have been short here at 125.98 and in between that. So this held very well. There was no chance of me being stopped out. I had my stop located up here, but I left 122 as a reference point to see if there was a reason to be long. But it turned out that we're going into a series of lower highs and lower lows. So you have a lower high right here and a lower low right here, and price is trading at 118.298, or it's going to be, I think, just based on how fast and swift these kind of moves are. So you have a quick drop off, consolidation, and what looks like it's starting to form another drop off right there. So if it goes to 118.258, I would revisit, because this is an area where it went up 263 pips. And these are also some supportive zones right here displayed on this time frame. So if we go into the 1 hour, you can see how well this projection worked as a sell point, and also where price blasted out of the August 31st supportive point. So worked out very nicely for some of the bulls here. But I'm planning on covering a third here at 118.278 and another third here at 117.423. This area is going to act as a much more powerful area of support, but I'm still patient and waiting for price to come into some really juicy sell areas. So it looks like we're have a change of trend and it's starting to confirm. At least that's the point of view for this period of time for the 1 hour chart. So we should stay within the daily context and see how things are moving there. But so far, it looks like things are turning around. As always, trade well and take care.